It'll be 1 to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
That's a challenge. That's probably the biggest challenge I'll have this year is not being as successful as 2008. I would say that 5 wins in the Cup Series would be good. 10 in the Nationwide and 5 in the trucks. You know, that's what I look towards every year. You know, that's 20 races right there again. You know, that's one less than what we had. Anything more than that would be great, but I don't know the way everybody caught up I mean, I just wanted to win 1 or 3 races. I think in the Cup Series last year we won 8. You know, so anything else that you get is obviously a bonus to the year, and all we can do is try to work our hardest and work our best to try to make sure that happens.
I'm ready. I wish Speed Weeks was starting tomorrow. I mean, I really, really do. I am so ready to go to the racetrack with these guys and be a part of this thing. I can't imagine anybody being more ready for 2009 than I am.
And the cars themselves are totally different. The Grand Am cars are more like, I would say, closer to an Indy car, you know, with a sequential gearbox, no lift shift. The brakes that they have on them and the way they can stop is definitely, you know, they can stop a lot better than our Cup cars. But yet you can, when you get to the infield where you're in the slow speed corners, they feel a little bit more like a stock car where you slide them around. You get to the high speed stuff and it reminds you more of an Indy car. I think that no matter what the rules ever are in any type of sport or NASCAR, Indy cars, whatever it is, there's always going to be a certain teams that have money to go out there and really spend and do it right, and there's going to be other teams that don't have the money to go do it and spend it right. And I don't know if the lack of testing or getting more testing is going to sway that. You know, I mean, when you look at RCR and Hendrick and Roush and Gibbs, you know, what are considered the bigger teams with the money. I think they're always going to have, you know, more people, more info, you know, regardless of what the rules are. And there's always going to be a little bit of separation there. So I don't think that's really going to sway that a whole lot.
Well, we're still representing our sponsors for the fans and being able to tie the two together. We were joking in the car earlier when we were doing some other stuff. We've kind of lost the Thunder in Preseason Thunder because we're not testing. But at the same time, we still have a responsibility to the fans to be able to come here and say thanks and, hey, we'll be back in a few weeks, so check us out. So, it's still a good thing for the sport ultimately because of the fans, and if the fans show up, we'll be here.
Really, I mean, it's hard to beat NASCAR racing. I mean, the way these cars drive, you have to drive them so hard, and they move around on you. And it's almost like a bucking bronco. I mean, they're trying to pitch you off at every turn. The Indy cars, you had to be real smooth, real precise with, real line sensitive, and it makes for good racing at like a Texas Speedway. But most of the other tracks, the racing is by far better in NASCAR.
I'll be devastated if we don't win a race in 2009, and I'll be very disappointed if we don't make the chase. So our expectations, and I'm sure that Jack can agree to this, is to win some races, be in the chase. We know that we've still got some work to do to be a championship contender. We're not at that level that the 48 team and Carl and some of those guys are, but we know that we can run in the top 10 week in and week out.
We've had 2 tests the past 2 weeks, and he's been to both of them, which means a lot. And I think a lot of the crew guys were not expecting to see the King at the track, and he showed up and stayed there with us the whole day, and he has a lot of good advice. I mean, obviously hasn't been in a car in a while and never drove one of these new cars especially, but he knows what he's talking about, and I think he's going to be around all year long, and I think anytime he speaks, I think everybody will listen up.
Well, it's cool. I mean, obviously, that's something that, with preseason testing being canceled, this event's really important to get us connected with our fans again after a long off season, or short off season, I should say. But that's what makes tonight so important. have that opportunity to be with our fans again before we get here in 3 weeks to start racing. So, none of us tonight are worried about shocks and springs and sway bars and all those things that we will be worried about when we come back here in a couple weeks. But tonight it's about being here with our fans, and that's something that I think we've all been looking forward to is getting back to our core group.
Can we be successful? Yes, we've been successful. The best year we ever had, we were a 2-car team. 2007. So it can be done. We can do it. I'm looking forward to working with Juan and with Brian Patty. I know Bono's really excited about the opportunity to work with him, and I really enjoy working with Doug Randolph, and I think we've got a good group of guys put together that we can make it work.
But I'm a race car driver, and when I came through that tunnel a minute ago here at Daytona and looked around, it almost brought tears to my eyes. It made me go, it's almost like coming home, when you've had success here and the people that have won and the people have lost their battles here. I love it.